A story of survival and ascendancy. The apocalypse came like a thief in the night. One day, the world was as it had always been, and the next, it was a smoldering ruin. I don't know what caused it, exactly. Some say it was a nuclear war, others say it was a natural disaster, and still others say it was something more sinister. But whatever it was, it wiped out most of humanity in an instant. I was one of the lucky few who survived. But my survival was due to a series of happy accidents, rather than any skill or planning on my part. I was in a subway train when the bombs fell. The train derailed and I was knocked unconscious. When I woke up, I was trapped in the wreckage, but I was unharmed. I managed to free myself and climb out of the tunnel. The world above was unrecognizable. The city was in ruins and the air was thick with smoke and ash. I wandered aimlessly for days, searching for food and water. I saw the dead and dying everywhere. It was a nightmare. But then, one day, I found a group of survivors. They had banded together to form a small community. They were wary of strangers at first, but they eventually welcomed me into their fold. We lived together for several months, sharing what little we had and helping each other to survive. But then, one day, the aliens arrived. They came in ships that were unlike anything we had ever seen before. They were sleek and silver, and they moved through the air with a grace that was mesmerizing. The aliens landed in the center of our community and emerged from their ships. They were tall and slender, with pale skin and large, almond-shaped eyes. They wore silver jumpsuits that shimmered in the sunlight. The aliens spoke to us in a language that we did not understand. But through gestures and facial expressions, we were able to communicate with them. They told us that they had been observing us for many years. They had seen our wars and our violence. But they had also seen our resilience and our compassion. The aliens said that they believed that humanity was ready to ascend to a higher plane of existence. They offered to take us with them to a new world, a world where there would be no war, no poverty, and no suffering. We were hesitant at first, but we eventually agreed to go with them. We knew that we had no other choice. The aliens loaded us into their ships and took us off of Earth. We traveled through space for what felt like an eternity. But finally, we arrived at our new home. The new world was a paradise. The air was clean, the water was pure, and the land was lush and green. There were no cities or factories, just rolling hills and forests and meadows. The aliens showed us how to live in harmony with nature. They taught us how to grow our own food and how to generate our own energy. We lived in the new world for many years. We learned and grew, and we became a better people. One day, the aliens called us together. They told us that it was time for us to return to Earth. They said that we had learned enough to help our fellow humans to ascend. We were reluctant to leave our new home, but we knew that it was our duty to return to Earth. The aliens gave us each a gift. They gave us a device that would allow us to communicate with them telepathically. They also gave us a seed that would grow into a tree of life. We returned to Earth and began to teach our fellow humans about the new world. We planted the tree of life in the center of the world and its branches spread out to every corner of the globe. The people of Earth listened to our teachings and they began to change their ways. They stopped fighting wars and they began to live in harmony with nature. The aliens were pleased with our progress. They told us that we had ascended to a higher plane of existence. We are now the keepers of the tree of life. We are responsible for ensuring that its branches continue to spread out and touch all of humanity. We are the new humans. We are the ascended ones. Epilogue. Many years have passed since the apocalypse. The world is a very different place now. There is no war, no poverty, and no suffering. All of humanity lives in harmony with nature. We are the new humans. We are the ascended ones. And it all started with a series of happy accidents.